it's Clarissa here. We are back in the limelight, and I have another really extraordinary entrepreneur with some ideas and tips about how we can be taking better care of ourselves, and not only, but I do want to remind you also that you can go over to inthelimelight.media.com. You can take a look at the videos there. You can listen to the podcast there. We do thank our friends over at Inspired News Radio, who are also our media partners and help us get our podcasts out. You're going to take a look at also the magazine. This is the last issue. This is summer 2020, everybody, in the limelight with Iris Apfel, and you can go over and take a look at the digital version, again, in the limelightmedia.com. Get on over there, and don't forget, you can find us on YouTube, and go, you know where to find me on social. So let's just get this party started, shall we? So I'm going to bring in our guest today. She's beautiful and really, really extraordinary. Really extraordinary when it comes to knowing what we need to know about self-love and taking care of ourselves, because especially in these very challenging times, difficult times at best, for a lot of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, we know what it means to be wearing many hats and to be overly worked and super stressed. But my guest is, she's an international motivational speaker. She's also, what I really love, she's a divine path life coach. She's a shaman. She's a Reiki master and a past life regression therapist. I think that is all very exciting, and I'm going to have her come on right now. There she is, Leora Leon. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Clarissa. Thank you for having me.
Well, we almost didn't, because
I know, right? But that's all right.
Yeah, with Mercury retrograde, we had some technical blips and a few difficulties, but we're here now, and that's the exciting news. Yeah, really, I love when I knew you were going to be on the show. I obviously took a deeper dive into what it is you do, and I want to get to your book. We're going to get to a lot of different things, but what is it that you would tell my entrepreneurial audience, the people that are listening today, some of the tips that you may have about taking it slow, taking some care, a lot of self-care? I know that you talk to your audiences about. Can you talk to that for us a minute?
Yeah, one of the biggest tips that I talk about even when I talk to my corporate audiences is about trusting that inner voice, trusting your intuition, connecting to, in this physical body, we encase this amazing energy that is from the God of your belief system, the divine, the all that is, and that is your power source. So what I do is, with my clients and my students, I give them tips and counsel them on constantly connecting to that power source, taking care of the physical body, being in your optimum, taking care of the mental. Always, with nowadays, we're so inundated with social media that we get a lot of hits of negative energy. So we have to control that. And also with your spiritual, connecting, taking that time to meditate, to calm down, to connect to your power source. That helps you every single day. It gives you the ability to be the best that you can be.
Yeah. I think when you speak about intuition, at least in my case, and I'm sure in many others, I always know, I always feel it. I'm just not paying attention. It's there, or the message is always there, but I'm so busy doing all of the other, I'm busy working and not paying attention. So I think that would be the first thing that I might suggest is, pay attention, because it's there, it's telling you, it's that feeling, it's that pit of your stomach thing, it's that all-knowing, as you said before. And
that is your divine self. That is you. That is your higher self giving you direction. And we don't listen to it. I had a bad experience where my neighbor passed away, and before that happened, I kept telling me, go see him, go see him, go see him. And it was too late. That was the last time that I didn't listen.
Right, exactly. And that's really, really important. Here we go. I got us back. Okay, and so not only is it important, you feel what's going on. I think that, again, with that intuition, that true self, that divine self, I think a lot of us talk ourselves out of having the time to be able to do it because we're so busy doing other things. So I really feel also that it's important, Leora, that we almost schedule it in the day, just like we would a Zoom call, just like we would a doctor's appointment, just like we would our hair appointment, nail, whatever else we may be, scheduling in that calendar. Why not do that? I mean, we already know we're supposed to be eating healthfully. We know about the vitamins and supplements and protein drinks and all of that. So physically, I think a lot of us are pretty in tune. It's the real mental and all-knowing piece, I think, that people kind of let slide a little bit, like I'll get to it eventually. And I think that the scheduling would be also important.
Yeah, people, if you look at the amount of time and energy people put into their car, right?
Yeah.
Cleaning it, filling it with gas, making sure the oil's all good. When it comes to ourselves, and to have clarity of the mind, to have that, when you're rushed and everything is crazy and everything goes wrong. And then on the days where you have nothing to do, everything goes right. So take that time in the morning, sit there, have your cup of coffee, and just take 10 minutes to meditate, to connect yourself to your power source, connect yourself to Mother Earth, protect yourself from all of the energies coming in. It's tuning up your spirituality and your mental and your physical every single day before you start your day.
Without a doubt. So super important. I want to ask you why you think the love of self is so important. And do you find that women especially almost need permission of some sort?
Yeah. And, people think self-love is a type of, being arrogant and that part of it. And that has nothing to do with it. Self-love is really connecting to who you are and taking care of yourself first. As mothers, as wives, as friends, we end up doing everything for everybody else. And then we break down and we get tired, we get frustrated, nobody's giving us, we're giving. When you take care of yourself first, then you can give what you can give and then keep what you need. As women, we are super givers because we multitask, right? We do everything. And so I got stage 3 breast cancer a few years back. And the lesson in it for me was, hey, this is your time now. You have to pull back and start taking care of you. And that's women and men too. Men do it too. They get so focused in their job. Their job makes them, they just put everything into it. Then they've gained weight. They're tired. They're grumpy with their family. They need to it's balance, right? Balance.
Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, so what does it look like when we're at home? Let's say we're solopreneurs, entrepreneurs. Most of us are working from home now. What does that kind of look like? How can we start stepping into that process? Okay, let's get it into a calendar. We've established that. Then what? Maybe somebody's not the morning person. Maybe they can do it better at lunchtime or later in the evening or something.
Right. So what I tell my clients is, for me, morning meditations are the best. I exercise in the morning. So I get that, I'm 63, almost 64, and my body is starting to hurt. So I get out there and I run and I get everything moving. Then I come in, I do my meditation, I have my acai bowl. And so I'm set. And then by the day, as the day goes on, we have to watch our thoughts, our words, and our actions. So every word that you speak has a vibration. Every thought that you think has a vibration. So you can keep yourself in low energy, or you can take it to where you stop what you're thinking and change it to just simple. Like nowadays, everybody is stressed because we have all these limitations on us and everything is really hard. I go back to, what am I grateful for? And we in America are so much better off compared to, third world countries. We have running water. We have, even in the luxury of our homes, being isolated at home, it's still better than most people. So stay in the modem of gratitude, being grateful for what you have, who you are, and staying in the vibration of love. That's the pure you. That's who you are. You are pure love. You come from the divine. So staying in your natural form, that's loving yourself, being in the vibration of love.
Right. And I mean, who are we to second guess the divine, right? I mean, if they made us in this perfect order, why should we then, ever second guess what the plan is and or was when we came into this physical being. Okay, so when you say do the work, when we hear you just have to put in the work, you got to do the work. You know, everything's work. Couldn't we put in the play?
Yeah.
And not, you know, I mean, what? I think people are like, oh, it's one more thing I have to do. Yeah, gosh, I got to make time to meditate. Wow, no, let's lighten up around the whole process, right?
Right. And I've been looking for another word other than do the work. But it comes down, like recently I lost my son 5 months ago, and I have been going in and out of depression. I had to close his bank account on Monday, and it set me off. And then with all of the stuff around, it just really hit me. And what I mean by doing work is going back to the basics, keeping myself physically fit, eating the right foods, meditating. And then when I start to obsess about thinking about him too much, and you always have these emotions that you're always going to feel, but I stop it. And I say, you know what? He lived a good life. I was a good mom, and we're going to leave it at that, because we can obsess and we can. So every day, that's what I call doing the work, is staying with these 6 components, the 6-component equation of body, mind, spirit, thoughts, words, and action. And just being mindful of what you're thinking. What your brain is a computer, and you're constantly feeding it. Your body too. So everything that goes in here comes out into the whole body. So that's what I mean by doing the work, is keeping yourself in that state of love, watching everything that you put into your body and everything that comes out, how you treat people, how you treat yourself. That's doing the work and keeping your mind in a positive, loving state.
You know, you've touched upon it, and I didn't know if you wanted to go there, but let's take a deeper dive from it. I too lost my brother last Tuesday to cancer, and it was really very, very difficult. Yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. It's the gratitude, like you say. I thank the divine for the time that I did have. I thank the divine for the life that he, all of those gratitude, staying in the gratitude and staying grounded, which is very difficult at times because we are emotive beings. Emotions will wreak havoc at times if we don't know how to reel it in with the tools that you've been telling us about, the meditative moments that we give to ourselves, the self-care, the proper eating. Getting enough rest is huge. People need to be able to rest. And so all of these, and journaling, I find, is another really great way to get it out of your head and onto paper. I love to have my essential oils in diffusers all the time in the background when I'm working. I listen to meditative spa lounge chill music is always go. There is a little mini oasis, if you will, that I create my matcha lattes, and I do all of these things that make me feel so good, so that I can continue to affront pretty much anything that life can throw. I mean, you said you're 63, I'm 61. At this point, I don't know what life could throw at us that we probably couldn't handle. And in reading your bio, I want to ask you, where did you get the strength from? I mean, as I go back and so people understand what I'm talking about, you overcame childhood physical and sexual abuse, rape, domestic abuse, cancer. You've just lost your son. Any one of those things could have devastated many people for a lifetime. And you have been through many of those different things. Please share with us how we might garner this same strength that you have.
People always say, well, you're strong. And that almost upsets me, because what you perceive as strong is me working really hard. I don't give up. I'm tenacious and I keep going. I don't know what makes me different than a lot of people, other than, that whole childhood of radical abuse. It brought me to a place where I was able to take care of a severely autistic son. So it made me be a fighter. It made me fight the school districts. It made me give him everything that he needs. So I call them stepping stones to the divine. Every trial and tribulation that you go through, you put in front of you so that you could grow. I believe that all of that happened to me so I could get out there and I could teach. I could tell people that, look, this is what you can do. There's not a person on this planet that doesn't have trials and tribulations. Everybody does. And before we come in, we say, okay, I'm going to take on this much. This will get in the camera here. I'm going to take on this much so I can grow spiritually this much. It's always what we come in for is to get back. Like we start out as a caveman and then end up somewhere like Gandhi. And somewhere in the middle, we wake up and we start to, get rid of all of that energy that we no longer need. So it's not about being strong. It's being tenacious and learning, understanding what life is about.
Right.
And I want to say something about your brother. When we lose someone because of the physical attachment, we mourn it, we want it. And what I say to you and what I've had to learn from losing my son is to allow yourself to have that emotion, allow yourself to grieve and let it out. But where you want to be careful is feeling of, I didn't do enough, I didn't care enough, I didn't that, because that goes into where we don't want to go. So that's when we stop it. And that's when we just are grateful, right? That's easy to do.
Thank you very much for that. Absolutely. Yeah. You've got a book we want to talk about, that Love Yourself, Change Your Life. What can we expect when we read it?
Well, gosh, that kind of it's still in the process of being edited right now, and we're hoping to get it out before the end of the year. And basically, it's a book and a workbook, and it tells you everything that I just told you, and it's backed up mostly by science. There's a little bit of woo-woo in there, but mostly it's backed up, by energy and quantum mechanics and how we, attract what we put out. So that's coming in December. I'm hosting my new show on Well World TV. So I'm going to be a TV host, and I am doing a series called The Powers in You, which will kind of discuss every series about the book, Love Yourself and Change Your Life.
Very good. I've got Deborah Kay on the show next week. So.
Oh, yay, I love Deborah.
I had a lovely chat with her about 10 days ago, so I'm excited about exploring.
She's my coach. She's my coach.
She's your coach. Lovely. Wonderful. We've got an event possibly coming up. It's in October in North Carolina called Soul Treat, Art of Living Retreat Center in Boone, NC, October 22 to 24.
That has been canceled due to COVID. So we're going to we're doing it next year. I mean, I was supposed to be in Poland this year. We planned on going to Paris to speak, and everything now, I don't even know what's happening. But I think the Soul Treat is going to be next year at the same time, I think.
Awesome. So let's tell everybody how they can find you if they want to work with you or follow along with your eventual retreats and events, and certainly when your book comes out. Where can we find you on social and on your, I'm going to put, while you're talking, I'm going to throw out a picture.
I'm on leoraleone.com. That's my website. And then I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Not much, and I might be attempting TikTok. I don't know if I'm brave enough for that. But, Leora Leone, you can look me up anywhere on Google, and it'll come up all my sites. And if you want to schedule anything, you can go to my website to schedule. I still do privates, past life progressions. And if you want one, I'll give you one. All right.
I would love that. That would be exciting. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to ask you not to leave as I start to wind down the show. You stay right where you are. But everybody, you heard it here first. Lots of great information about how to take care of yourself and the path to do that. I'm personally excited about the workbook. I hope that comes out as soon as possible, and you'll let us know when it does. We'll have you back on the show when your book does drop, so that we can let everybody know how things have progressed. In the meantime, Leora, I'm going to ask you for some parting words. Just the last thing you want to leave everybody with before we say goodbye.
All right, Clarissa, I just want people to stay in the moment, stay in that vibration of love, keep your thoughts pure, your actions and your words, and every day connect to your superpower, the God of your belief, and just take time to quiet the mind, and most of all, have gratitude. Have gratitude for just being here.
Absolutely. Fantastic words to close the show out with. Everybody, don't forget, go over to Facebook, Twitter. You know where to find me. Everything's under Clarissa Burt. And you can take a look at everything else at inlimelightmedia.com. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of In the Limelight TV, intelligent media for the savvy entrepreneur. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel and connecting with me on social. You can listen to this interview on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher. And you can also go to inthelimelightmedia.com to read our digital magazine.